Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayana Namaskrityam
Narayana Namaskrityam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Devin Saraswatin Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet
Tasto Jayamudhirayet
Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhaktin Bhavadir Naisiti
Bhaktin Bhavati Naistaki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, text number 32. 1:19:32. The chapter name is The Appearance of Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Let us start our. Please repeat, begin me, the sloka. Parīkṣit uvāca.
Parīkṣit uvāca.
Aho adya vayaṁ brahman.
Aho adya vayaṁ brahman.
Sat-sevyāḥ kṣatra-bandhavaḥ.
Sat-sevyāḥ kṣatra-bandhavaḥ.
kṛpayātithi-rūpeṇa.
kṛpayātithi-rūpeṇa.
bhavadbhis tīrthakāḥ kṛtāḥ.
Bhavadbhis tīrthakāḥ kṛtāḥ.
Word by word meaning, please repeat again me. Parīkṣit uvāca.
Parīkṣit uvāca.
The fortunate Mahārāja Parīkṣit said,
The fortunate Mahārāja Parīkṣit said,
Aho,
Aho,
adya,
adya,
today, vayaṁ,
vayaṁ,
we, brahman,
brahman,
O brahmana,
brahman,
sat-sevyāḥ,
sat-sevyāḥ,
eligible to serve the devotee,
eligible to serve the devotee,
kṣatra, the ruling class, bandhavaḥ,
bandhavaḥ,
friends,
friends,
kṛpayā, by your mercy,
by your mercy,
atithi-rūpeṇa,
atithi-rūpeṇa,
in the manner of a guest,
in the manner of a guest,
bhavadbhiḥ,
bhavadbhiḥ,
by your good self,
by your good self,
tīrthakāḥ,
tīrthakāḥ,
qualified for being places of pilgrimage,
being places of pilgrimage,
kṛtāḥ,
kṛtāḥ,
done by you.
done by you.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnavani S.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Please repeat again. The fortunate king Parīkṣit said,
The fortunate king Parīkṣit said,
O brahmana,
O brahmana,
by your mercy only,
by your mercy only,
you have sanctified us, making us like unto Places of pilgrimage.
Places of pilgrimage.
All by your presence.
All by your presence. All by your presence.
Here as my guest.
Here is my guest. Here is my guest.
By your mercy.
By your mercy. By your mercy.
We who are but unworthy royalty.
But unworthy royalty.
Become eligible to serve the devotee. Purport. Saintly devotees like Śukadeva Gosvāmī generally do not approach worldly enjoyers, especially those in royal orders. Mahārāja Pratāparudra was a follower of Lord Caitanya, but when he wanted to see the Lord refused to see him because he was a king. For a devotee who desired to go back to Godhead, two things are strictly prohibited: worldly enjoyers and women. Therefore, devotees of the standard of Śukadeva Gosvāmī are never interested in seeing kings. Mahārāja Parīkṣit was, of course, a different case. He was a great devotee, although a king, and therefore Śukadeva Gosvāmī came to see him in his last stage of life. Mahārāja Parīkṣit, out of his devotional humility, felt himself an unworthy descendant of his great Kshatriya forefathers, although he was as great as his predecessors. The unworthy sons of a royal orders are called kṣatra-bandhavas, as the unworthy son of the brahmana are called dvija-bandhus or brahma-bandhus. Mahārāja Parīkṣit was greatly encouraged by the presence of Śukadeva Gosvāmī. He felt himself sanctified by the presence of the great saint, whose presence turns in any place into a place of pilgrimage. Om Dasa. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnanāñjana-śalākaya Chakṣurūmilidamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Dechatarane. Hare Krishna. So today's sloka, Mahārāja Parīkṣit started speaking. So that's why it's called Parīkṣit's uvāca. So Prabhupada translated is the fortunate Mahārāja Parīkṣit said. So because why he is fortunate? Because he know when he is going to die, and also before dying, he is going to discuss the Bhagavatam, the great thing about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So which is the great thing, while the dying person should hear, should recite, should remember the Lord. So since all these things are set for Parīkṣit Maharaj, that's the reason Prabhupada translated as fortunate Mahārāja Parīkṣit said. And he is addressing all the brahmanas who are all surrounded there, all the sages, they are all brahmanas. And he is talking with Śukadeva Gosvāmī. He is pointing him as a brahmana. So why he is calling him as a brahman? So brahmana means the person who knows the Brahman. Brahman means the Lord, who knows about the Lord signs of the Lord. That person is called brahmana. So he is addressing Śukadeva Gosvāmī as brahmana. And he was a great devotee of the Lord because by birth itself, from the past times you can understand that by birth itself he got the mercy of the Lord. Because the Lord only saved him, the Supreme Lord Krishna only saved him in the very birth, when he was in the womb itself. So he is a very fortunate person. And also his predecessors, who are his forefathers, they are also very fortunate people because they were the great devotees of the Lord, and Lord himself personally associated with him. So they are very fortunate people. He was in the same order, the same parampara, this Parīkṣit Maharaj, but he is presenting himself. I am the unworthy sons of the royal orders. He was calling himself as the kṣatra-bandhavas. So he is calling himself as the unworthy sons of the royal order. See, the royal order, the Pandavas, they are the great devotees of the Lord, but still he is portraying himself as an unworthy person. That is, it is showing that is the quality of Vaisnava. The Vaisnava, even though the person is a great devotee of the Lord, they won't portray it outwardly they are great. They will always, in the very humble manner, they will portray himself as we are trying, we are made to be a devotee like that. So it is showing his humility. And the similar way, the dvija-bandhus, so we are calling the brahmanas sons, the unworthy son of a brahmana. Maybe they born in the brahmana's family, but they may not follow the brahmanical culture. That person, we can't call them as a brahmanas. We will call them as a, there is a word called dvija-bandhus or brahmana-bandhu, like that we will call them. Maybe they are the son of bandhus means son. There are descendants of brahmanas or friends of brahmana, like that we need to call them. That is the reason. But similar way, kṣatra-bandhus means who is the royal order, unworthy sons of royal order, we need to be call them as a kṣatra-bandhavas. Here Parīkṣit Maharaj is calling himself as kṣatra-bandhavas because here forefathers were the devotees of great devotees, but I am not that much, I'm not that much worth. That's what he was, because it is showing his humility. And Parīkṣit Maharaj, the Prabhupada is explaining that when during the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in this material world, when the king, the Orissa king, Prataparudra, he wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to give any appointment. He refused to see the materially opulent persons. He never connected with the materially opulent person and never connected with the woman. So even whenever there is somebody, the materially opulent person is coming, he won't see them because he don't want to affect with the materially opulent persons. So that is the way he is. Even though he is a great devotee of the, he is not himself, and he played he was playing a great devotee's role. He never showed him that, okay, I'm the Supreme Lord. He played his role perfectly. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he always stay away from this materially opulent persons. Yes, that is the way. If a great person is following certain things, the other common people also will follow. So this is the thing Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita. So since he told, when he became a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu avatar, he followed his words and he followed not to addicted with the material opulent persons. Don't want to connect with the material opulent person. He wanted to stay away. So when Mahārāja Pratāparudra wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never gave the appointment. But one day, Pratāparudra, he is also a great devotee of the Lord, but he is a king. Since he is the king, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't give the appointment. But one day, he wanted to meet Maharaj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at any cost. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking rest in the park, and at that time, Mahārāja Pratāparudra came over there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu assistants told them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking rest. But they wanted to, because the Pratāparudra is a great devotee, so they wanted to, they are desiring to have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Pratāparudra, they wanted to meet. Like that, they also have the desire. So they allowed him, then they told, ask him to remove all his kingly dresses, and they asked him to wear a devotee, normal dhoti kurta, normal dress, one dhoti and one towel on his top. Use this and go to Mahaprabhu now. Then Mahaprabhu was sleeping under a tree. Then Mahārāja Pratāparudra slowly, silently, he went next to him and sat near to him, and he hold his legs. He's pressing his legs, giving massage to his Mahaprabhu legs. During that time, he was singing the Gopi Gita. So this is the mood of a devotee. Even the devotee, even the king became a devotee. He has the more material opulences, but he is always detached from that, and his eagerness always attached with the devotional service. That is the power of devotional service. So when Pratāparudra Maharaj, he showed him as a simple, common person, normal person, with only dhoti and towel, he went next to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was in order to give the pleasure to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ears, so he was singing Gopi Gita. So by hearing the Gopi Gita, Mahaprabhu he went into ecstasy, and he was praising Pratāparudra, and he wake up from that, and he embraced Pratāparudra. So that is the way. Even Mahaprabhu, even he don't want to see the kings, but since the Pratāparudra came in the devotee form, he changed his attire, and also he was singing, to please Mahaprabhu, he was singing Gopi Gita, she embraced him. So That is the pastime, one of the pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime. So the kings, the great devotees always stay away from the material enjoyers and women. And also the great devotees, they are all called the places of they are mobile pilgrimage. They will call the mobile pilgrimage. Wherever they are going, they sanctify the place. So that's the reason they are called, we are calling them as a mobile pilgrimage, because they're always, their mood, their mind, always thinking about Lord's service only. And they will glorify the ladies. They will all in their mind, they will thinking about Lord, how can I serve the Lord? And what is the way I can turn this ignorant people to become a devotee? So always they are thinking always connected with the Lord. That's the reason we are calling them as a pilgrimage. There is a Prabhupada used to give us always this analogy. See, when the iron rod, if it is outside, when it is iron rod, it is normal iron rod. When you put that in your fire, after some time, if you see, the iron rod become the reddish color. So the quality of the iron, the fire, it caught by the iron rod also. So the iron rod, there is no difference between iron rod and the fire one after some time. This is the way, if you associate with the devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord, we also like this. Initially we are like an iron rod, cool iron rod. We don't have any quality. So the devotees of the Lord, pure devotees of the Lord, like fire, if you associate with the fire, how the iron rod get the quality. Similarly, when we associate with the pure devotees, we will also get the similar qualities. That is the reason Sadhu Sangha is very much important in Kali Yuga. We have to have the Sadhu Sangha. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also saying that Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So even a minute in a second, Sadhu Sangha, less than a second Sadhu Sangha, if you are able to get the association of Sadhu, your life will be changing like anything. So this is there are many examples in the Prabhupada's time also. We can see the hippies, how the hippies changed themselves. They were the unworthy people in the society. They left everything. All the four regulatory principles, whatever we talked, meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling, all those activities, they are master in all these activities. They are living without any cleanliness. They don't have any cleanliness. They don't have to follow any rules and regulation. They won't marry, but they will mix with many women, and they will intoxicate themselves. They will sleep here and there. They won't change they won't take bath. Like that people, the hippies are like that people. When a pure devotee enter America, when he meet that, when all these hippies meet Prabhupada, Prabhupada never changed. Since he is a great devotee of the Lord, he is like a fire. All the hippies, the iron rod like hippies, they turned into a burning iron rod. They'll become they also become a fire. So that is the quality of the pure devotee. Wherever they are going, they will make all the others as a great devotee of the Lord. And they will always think about the Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, there is a 7th canto, there is a sloka. It is mentioning about, there is the 7th canto, first chapter, 28 to 29 sloka. It is mentioned. Just reading the translation. A grassworm confined in a hole of a wall by a bee always thinks of the bee in fear and enmity, and later becomes a bee simply because of such remembrance. Similarly, if the conditioned souls somehow or other think of Krishna, what is Satchidananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins. Whether thinking of him as their worshipable Lord or an enemy, because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. So they are here, Prabhupada talking, this sloka is talking about the bee. So you can see, I'm just wanted to show you. Everyone have the experience to see this kind of bee in our houses. Somewhere it will make a hole. Make a small house in mud. It will bring the mud from outside. It will make this kind of house for him. For this bee, what it will do? See this. This we will call it as wasp, WASP, wasp. In Tamil, it will call it as kulavi. So this wasp, it will go and it will pick a grass worm, the small grass worm, some green color worm, somewhere it will pick, and it will keep this. It will make this like this house, and it will keep that worm inside. And what this will do, it will roam. It is always, it will make a noise. It will circumambulate this house. It always make the noise. We can also see. We could have also noticed this. Everyone has the experience. Like it will make a noise, and sometimes it will go inside. So what it will do? It will go inside, give a small bite to that small worm. Then it will come out again. It will do kind of. So the worm inside, what it will do? It will always in the fear of this wasp, and it will be in the fear, and it will always think about this worm only, in this bee only. Wasp only. Always think about wasps. When it will come, when it will bite, and the sound is coming in the outside, it's in the sound outside only. So always the worm inside the grass worm, it always 24 hours it is thinking about this wasp only. After some days, if you see this worm, this wasp, what it will do? It will, there is a hole will be there. It will go. It will keep a small white color chunna there. It will close the hole. Then later, if you see, there is a similar kind of wasp. The grass worm, it will turn into a similar kind of wasp. It will come out from that. So from this, we can understand that. See, this is the small grass worm. It is not delivered by this wasp. It is not born by wasp, but it was a grasshopper. It is not a grasshopper. There is a grass worm, but because of this worm's sound, always it is making the sound. Because of this, always the remembrance of this wasp, that grass worm turned into, to get the quality of this wasp itself. It became a wasp. So the Bhagavatam says that how this wasp, the small grass worm, became a wasp. Similarly, even a common person, like a conditioned soul like us, if you are thinking always Krishna, then we also become a devotee of the Krishna. How it is? Even though we can worship the Lord as a enmity way, we are a worshipping way, or we can worship the Lord, or in the enmity we can see the Lord. Because the enmity, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, though all those people, they always think about the Lord, Supreme Lord, in the enmity way. They were the Kamsa, they were all in the enmity way. They thought, they always 24/7, they were thinking about Krishna. So that is the reason they got the death by the hands of the Lord, because their feelings are intense, and they are also the great kings. And great kings in the sense, they control the three worlds. So that much powerful, those kings. So they also, since they were thought about the Lord always, finally, even though in the enmity way, finally they also got delivered by the Lord. So that it is not favorable for the common people like us to think about Lord in the enmity. But if you, even though the person is thinking in the Lord as an enmity way also, he will also get delivered in the different way, but he will be delivered because he is also thinking about the Lord. So if you are thinking even the enmity way, the people thinking of enmity way, they are also getting delivered. But what to speak about the devotee of the Lord? So if the devotee of the Lord 24/7, if they are thinking about the Lord, if you are how to desire, how to serve the Lord, and how to make the devotees, how can I do my sadhana best? How can I read this Bhagavatam and immerse in Bhagavatam, immerse in the scriptures? So if the devotee 24/7, if we immerse in that way, so that person become a pure devotee of the Lord. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī, today's sloka we talked about Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Śukadeva Gosvāmī is also such one of this devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. So when you associate with a pure devotee, he will make he has the power to make who are doing the association. He will make that other person also enlightened, and other person also become a pure devotee of the Lord. So that's the reason Parīkṣit Maharaj glorifying Śukadeva Gosvāmī that since I am the unworthy person, royalty, since I am the son of the unworthy royal order, unworthy son of a royal order, but you make me as a eligible person to serve the other devotees. That's the reason he was glorifying Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So in Prabhupada time also, he made so many unworthy people because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, who is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada. Because of their mercy, we are able to chant the holy name of the Lord, and we are able to at least taste the bhakti little bit. And we are also trying to become a devotee of the Lord. So this is the great opportunity. So whenever we are associating with the great devotees, whenever we are getting the touch with the great, it is not necessary physically you need to associate. If you are associating with the Bhagavad Gita, if you associate with the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you are associating with the small books of Prabhupada, all these books are another form of Bhagavata. These are the book Bhagavata. So there is the two, as we discussed yesterday, there are two Bhagavatas, book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata. So the book Bhagavata also is talking, the Prabhupada, all the Prabhupada books, if you see small books, and Srimad Bhagavatam, it is converted, it is translated into English. All this work done by Prabhupada. So that is, we are indirectly, we are associating with Prabhupada and his words, through his purports. So we are always associating with Prabhupada. If you read the Prabhupada purport, that means Prabhupada literally in front of you, he is teaching us. So that is the way we need to remember, and that in that way, we will also sanctified because we are associating with Prabhupada through his books. So that we will also get sanctified. So today's sloka, we talked about Parīkṣit Maharaj and is glorifying Śukadeva Gosvāmī as a pure devotee, and he is showing himself as a lower position. When the lower position person associate with a pure devotee, he'll also become a devotee of the Lord. Similarly, when we associate with the Bhagavatas or through book Bhagavatam or person Bhagavatam, we will also pure devotees. We will also become a pure devotee one day. So our goal of life should be become a pure devotee of the Lord at the end of the life to remember the Lord. That is the reason we are chanting the holy name of the Lord. We are hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading the scriptures. Hare Krishna. Grandraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any doubt?